Today on San Diego Living, going back to school, from shoes to supplies, everything your kids need to succeed, and where to find the best deals. The beauty of the ocean, designed in glass, a preview of the Art Glass Fair at the Chula Vista Nature Center, and how the event is teaching us about sea life conservation. We're in the kitchen this morning taking an eating tour of the Mediterranean. Writer and food enthusiast Wendy Bazilian here to explain why doctors and health experts rave about diets based on Mediterranean foods.
Taking a trip to the Mediterranean, well, a tour of the diet there anyway. We have Dr. Wendy Bazilian here back with us, talking about this amazing spread here, this super healthy diet that tastes good, apparently.
It tastes delicious, and we're going to have to imagine the crystal sapphire sea of the Mediterranean as we take a jaunt through the Mediterranean, but it has been shown for close to 50 years now, through hundreds of research studies, how important a traditional Mediterranean style of diet is to support our heart health, long life, diabetes risk reduction, a host of things, including healthy weight management, and it's a delicious diet. So I thought I'd just bring some tips.
I know, look at this. I mean, not just tips, but this is such a beautiful spread, and it's so colorful. And we were talking in the break about how we have so many farmers markets and all of these fresh fruits and veggies available.
Yeah.
So why is this one considered to be so good and maybe so easy?
Well, the Mediterranean diet looks at the whole table. It looks at every meal as a beautiful spread of food, not just looking at a single nutrient. While we do research on the nutrients in foods, it's about what foods should grace our plates that are beautiful and colorful. And then when we have colorful foods on our plate, they're staring right back at us with the health benefits, the antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, fiber, lean proteins, and so forth. And so it's all about putting on your plate the foods that are fresh, natural, local to your area, and we can bring the Mediterranean here to San Diego.
And this was just considered one of the top diets from U.S. News and World Report, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, U.S. News and World Report just recently placed it among the very top diets based on all the research that has been mounting, and it's a practical and doable diet. Several of the mainstream glossies with some really significant reporting have featured it as the world's healthiest diet. And so again, it's not a diet in a weight loss kind of way. It's a healthy way of eating that's, again, delicious.
And you were talking about how this stuff, people actually keep the weight off if they just kind of start eating this way.
Yeah, and an important study in the New England Journal of Medicine, there was a study that looked at 2-year weight loss, and people following a Mediterranean diet versus a low-fat diet not only took off 10 pounds more, but they had significant weight loss and kept it off. Because you don't get hungry on this diet. It's something that should look delicious.
And it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to kind of point out that you have here that people can just kind of start to implement?
Okay, rule number 1 is have a fruit and or vegetable at every meal. Simple as that. You call the fruit or vegetable, just have one on your plate at every meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You do things like tomatoes that have that lycopene that we're hearing about, that antioxidant, or broccoli, which has some cancer fighters, or grapes, which have important resveratrol. You don't have to know the name, you just eat the food and enjoy it. So have a fruit and or vegetable at every meal.
And we just threw up some Mediterranean diet rules here that we should sort of keep in mind.
Absolutely. So moving through that, your fruit and or vegetable, we want to focus on lean proteins like fish, like yogurt, like the Greek yogurt that's all the rage now, like beans. Beans are a prominent part of the Mediterranean diet. Kidney beans, garbanzo beans on salads, in soups, all different ways. Dried beans, canned beans, of course the low sodium variety, and nuts. Nuts offer not only the healthy fats that we want to incorporate, the olive oil that can be healthy for our heart, but the nuts provide important nutrients. For example, a study in the British Journal of Nutrition about walnuts showed that the polyphenols, these special nutrients in it, may help improve performance around age-sensitive, brain-driven skills like balance and coordination that reduces with age. We can keep them up by throwing some more walnuts into our day.
And then you're also talking about whole grains, and it's not necessarily going for the bread that's the softest.
Right.
You have ones that are a little bit harder because they have more substance in them.
Yeah, just think, look at the grain and say, what are you giving me back, people? What are you giving me back? There are some wonderful varieties that are a little bit softer. They're not so grainy, but go for the whole grains. I mean, there's enough fun that we have in our life where there's not going to be whole grains every single meal, but when you can choose whole grains, pastas, your whole grain oats, and your whole grain baguette.
Okay, and then I see these beautiful salads on the end too, and
yes.
I should mention the 2 glasses of red wine in the back.
Absolutely. So in incorporating it all together, and one thing I want to mention also, because this is important to the salad talk and also to our pasta, Herbs and spices are actually botanically fruits and vegetables. So this kind of goes back to the first tip. Herbs and spices are prominent. We think of garlic and rosemary in the Mediterranean, Italian parsley,
Those
oregano.
smell so good.
They smell so good, and they've got incredible antioxidants. There's research that rosemary may help us preserve brain health with age.
And you just went there, right? You just went to the Mediterranean?
I've been to the Mediterranean recently, yeah, and it was, I mean,
How did
again,
you come back?
I know, it was hard. I took cooking classes galore. We had a wonderful time. We did enjoy, and the way wine is consumed in the Mediterranean diet is in modest portions at the table with
Over
food,
several hours.
over hours in the company of friends and family, because it's a celebratory diet. It's not about excess, but it's about fun and tasting our food and bringing the flavors together. So there's just a few samples here of how it comes together. All the pieces are represented, whether you're doing a little med spread, you know, cheese and fruits and nuts, or you're doing a nice salad or a whole grain pasta. You know, you don't have to omit the cheese. You put a little bit of cheese in, you know the wonderful cheeses. You put
Just
oregano.
no Velveeta. It's,
Right.
You know, it's the
Step it up a notch.
Yes.
You're worth it.
No. Now, talk really quickly about your book before we go.
Well, my book is called The Superfoods RX Diet, and I write a lot about it. It really models after the Mediterranean diet. It's all these kind of, they're rules, but they're more like
That
strategies.
must have been you in the Mediterranean. You look so happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy because I eat well.
And there's all your contact information, too.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm a local practitioner, a local friend, and I email back, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so when people email me, if you need tips, you need ideas, you need recipes, you can look to my book, The Superfoods RX Diet. You can look to the Mediterranean diet, some of these guidelines that we have here to celebrate the traditional Mediterranean diet. At the base is all those fruits and vegetables.
You just
whole
live
grains.
longer and have fun.
Live
and
longer
be
and have
thin.
fun.
How about that? That's
Yeah.
a good combination.
It's a win-win-win.
All right. Good to see you.
Nice to be with you, Linda.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Take care.